girls. So, got a little something special for you today, and this is something I recorded last night after I spoke with my last coin interview. It's been a little bit of time since I talked to you about current market conditions for mining and what maybe my top picks are for something that I like mining. Now, I don't know. I feel like I can do better. You probably hear a couple of machines hashing away in the background. I'm just going to pop open my HiveOS miner interface right there. You can see I'm mining way over there on Ethereum Classic. But I've also got my workstation over here that I'm literally recording on right now, and also using the graphics card to hash a separate coin. Now, this workstation build only has one GPU in it right now, or one card, but it's a dual GPU card. And I did that intentionally because there are only a couple of PCI Express slots available on this rig. So I knew that with only a couple of slots available that I'd have to go with dual GPU cards to get the most out of my workstation build. And that's true for a lot of mainstream workstation motherboards. If you're not just trying to do cryptocurrency mining, you know, you have to try to figure out what the best balance is there. This is what I felt was enough for me. So, what am I getting at? I'm getting at, you know, it's just time to mine. Time to mine some stuff. I've been talking to so many coin projects that I haven't been able to mine as much as I want to here in the office. So, I've tuned the fan. Hey, Leo, that just happened real time. So I'm not going live. I'm not live streaming right now, but it's cool to see those notifications come in still when people subscribe to the channel. As you know, I'm also live streaming to bit.tube. All of my future live streams will be simulcast to YouTube and bit.tube whenever possible. That's a commitment for me. And there's a reason that I'm doing that, and I want to talk to you about that tonight. Right now, I'm mining on that machine using the enlargement pill. Thank you again, Christy Lee Minahan. As you know, I think you're an absolute diamond in the rough, an absolute gem to the mining community, and I've appreciated being able to use the ETH enlargement pill while using these 1080 Ti's or any GDDR5X cards. So you'll notice right here that the let me just pop that up a little bigger. Old man eyes going on here. But I'm only doing about 51.7 mega hashes per second. I had to scale back the overclock because I've got a mixed card rig over here. I've only got 6 1080 Ti's in that machine, and then I've got 2 1060s. And the 1060s are not handling the memory overclock the way that the 1080 Ti's would. I've been able to get these 1080 Ti's to do almost 56 mega hashes without too much difficulty, but because I threw in a couple of these 1060s, I've got to scale it back just a little bit. So, I mean, I guess scaling up to the overclock would be able to replace one of those cards, but scaling it back down a little bit, I'm still getting overall higher hash rates than if I pulled those 1060s out. So total machine hash rate is 355. I was doing about 370 before with the higher overclock, but it wasn't stable. Right now the temperatures are in a range that I'm actually comfortable with, so I'm okay with keeping that going all weekend from here on out. But there you go. There's my HiveOS. Let me just show you what my overclock numbers are there. I'm using the Zotac blower design on the 1080 Ti's, and so my overclock numbers, I had to scale it back to 1000 megahertz overclock on the memory, and then just 160 on the core clock, and that's working just fine. It's stable enough. We've got the fans going at 80% also. Some people might say, like, hey, Seth, that's really, really high fan speed. But you know what? I don't care. I want to keep the silicon cool. I want to make sure that my machine doesn't completely blow apart. And I'm only mining with this over the weekend until I do my next interviews here at this location. But there's no, there's nothing quite like mining right here in the studio. So wanted to get back into that. But that's what I've got going on over on that rig. Over on this rig, what I'm mining is courtesy of Seb Green's website, his pools, cryptonight.cc. And I'm going with, can you guess? Give me a guess down in the comments. And slam that like button. And if you're on BitTube, do me a solid and transfer me some TubeCoin. What? Did I actually just ask for something? Yeah, I did. This isn't an interview, guys. And what I'm asking you for is for a little bit of community support in this regard. Your support helps keep my content unbiased and helps me keep reviews coming to you without having to take paid content or sponsorship deals from other companies. Now, for hardware reviews, which I'm going to be doing very, very, very soon, sooner than you think, I have no problem. I have no problem taking bounties for hardware reviews, as long as I'm not prohibited from giving my honest and unfiltered feedback. Interviews, no way. I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon. Like Christy said during our interview, her number is her number is in the 9 figures, and I think she's got the right plan. So why don't I just echo that? You'd have to offer me 9 figures of payment for me to be able to shill that hard, because I would need to be able to buy my own private island, hire security, and hide from the world before I felt comfortable doing that. But let's jump in and take a look at this right now. Current effort. Wow, it's gone up right before our eyes on the coin that I'm mining. You've already given your guesses down below in the comments, right? Okay. Guys, I am mining bit.tube. Why am I mining bit.tube? Well, it's not just that I interviewed the CEO. I was thoroughly impressed with Sabir Maram's running his direction and vision for the company, but I also appreciate their alternate publishing platforms. I tried DTube, I looked at DLive, Steemit is a great platform too, and I kind of found that the user experience is lacking for publishers. That's a big deal, guys. Publishers need to be able to approach a new platform and feel like this is easy for me to use. And when I discovered that I could instantly import my YouTube videos, I found, all right, this is a step in the right direction for publishers. And if we publish good content, more people will come to the platform. So I took a look at, all right, well, this is also, it's based on a coin that is mineable, right? GPU mineable, and I support that too. So it's kind of cool that I can mine something that I'm also paid for as a publisher, and I can increase my rewards by doing both mining, but also uploading a lot of the content that I'm already uploading. Some of the exchanges that it's traded on, Altex Exchange, Crex24, Trade Ogre, I'm on those 3 at least, or I'm familiar with them, have accounts there. Livecoin.net I don't use presently, but I'm looking at this and seeing a lot of folks are, I mean, the secret's out. bit.tube is, it is hot. So if you are not already in on this, you can see the difficulty is kind of been up and down. Hasn't been too bad today, but the hash rate has gone up considerably over the last week. I wish I could take some credit for that. I don't think I can, but I'm excited for it because I've been publishing to bit.tube in this time, or during this time. So right now the price hasn't gone up significantly in the last 5 days. I mean, as of 5 days ago, yeah, it went up, but what does that actually mean? Well, there you go. About 1,200 satoshis. So it's not like this wildly valuable coin. But I'm going to show you my stats right now. I'm in XMR Stack. Now this is a fork of XMR Stack that was modified by Imperdin, the infamous. And so you have to compile this directly from the source on GitHub. Now that was a little bit of a challenge for me at first. It's just been too long. I'm really rusty. It took me a little longer than it should have. About an hour. I know. Everyone's faith in me is shaken. But you're going to have to download the full repo from GitHub. So right here, if you go to github.com/imperdin/xmr-stack, you're going to have to download the entire project right there. And from there, go into the doc file. And then depending on which platform you're on, it can be on Mac OS, Windows, Linux, go into the compile markdown file right there. Now, if you're not used to what a markdown file is, or you haven't ever had to read one before, I strongly recommend that you get Atom Browser or Atom Atom Processor right here. Right here. Oh. Not today, I don't want to. Sorry about that. But right here, Adam, when you have that downloaded zip file, you're going to be able to open up this same markdown file in this application. Maybe you can use some other application on macOS or on Linux. I don't know why you would. Atom is cross-platform, so that's what I used. But just open it up here in Atom, and so you'll have the instructions alongside you the entire time you do the install. It's going to tell you what you have to install first: Visual Studio if you're on Windows, CMake for Windows 64, CUDA and AMD, depending on if you want to do mixed GPU environments. Now, I'm using AMD over here on my workstation, but I might want to use a CUDA next week. Or I might want to drop in a couple of GTX 1060s that I have lying around and hash on those too. I don't want to today because it's kind of a pain to keep rearranging my workstation device for different cards. But these are the dependencies. You have to install this stuff or it's not going to run, right? Visual Studio, CMake, definitely CUDA, and then the AMD app SDK. Right here, these dependencies, if you're going to download, if you're going to have it run for AMD or use the CUDA 9 libraries, then you have to use this second option here for OpenSSL, HWLOC, and then micro HTTPD. So if you don't have that in place, then it's going to be painful. Trust me, just go with the latest version of CUDA. And if you think you're going to be using AMD cards, you have to use this one anyway. So go with the second option there. It's going to give you some instructions as to how to create a new folder using the make directory command in Windows Shell. Of course, you can also just navigate using Windows Explorer, and you can create this new folder and then extract all these files over to it. But then the rest is pretty straightforward. You just follow the instructions line by line. Make sure you don't skip anything. Make sure that you, right here for CMake, that you only use the CUDA 9 instructions if that's what you downloaded, and that's what I recommend that you do, just to make sure that you're flexible if you've got a dual GPU system, or if you're considering using AMD, or if you're using relatively new NVIDIA cards. Why wouldn't you go with CUDA 9? I don't know why you wouldn't. So, but yeah, just follow those instructions to be able to extract all of that, compile the new XMR stack that was custom made by Emperdine, and what it does is it gives you access to the Kryptonite _saber Kryptonite saber algorithm, and this is the brand new algorithm used by bit.tube. It's a variant of Kryptonite Heavy, I believe. They had a Kryptonite Light variant that they were using before, which was pretty awesome, very high performance on GPU. This one isn't bad, but it's all relative. Your hash rates are going to be lower, so you can already see right there. I can't really expand the text, but as you see right over, there we go, I'll try to point to it. Boop, right there. Haha. You see, my hash rates aren't ultra high. They're really not. So what I'm getting is close to about a single kilohash across the entire system. So let's go ahead and put in 1 kilohash right here. You can see that translates into about 23.88 tube coins per day, and that's about $1.88. But think about this. Let's go over to whattomine.com right now, and let's create a new data set entirely new. So you're just going to call it Kryptonite Cards. And here on Kryptonite Cards, we're going to completely invent a brand new thing. We're going to deselect all the other algorithms, and we're just going to leave the Kryptonite algorithms here. And we're going to put in a single kilohash on each, just to see what that would translate into by way of profit, daily profit. Okay. Alrighty, I forget sometimes that we have to, we're forced to have some other numbers here. Let's pretend like on this card that I'm hashing on right now that gives me about a kilohash of Kryptonite, that I would also be getting about 62 mega hashes on Ethereum. Oh yeah, we got it like that. So guys, stay tuned. I got an announcement on that in the near future. I believe that'll be something that Christy and I do a joint announcement on. Don't quote me yet. Don't quote me, boy. I ain't said nothing yet. So we'll leave that there. That's just going to be an interesting number to have available. And I'll hit calculate so we can kind of get a sense for what the profitability is. Still, Ethereum Classic is at the top of the stack right there, but you see right here that the revenue is about 216. So it's all right if you have a really heavy hitting card like this one is. Now, if you had anything else, like, I don't know, say just 31 mega hashes per second, which is typical of cards that perform about this rate on Kryptonite Heavy, well, you'd actually be doing a lot lower on Ethereum Classic or on Ether, right? Today, you'd be doing just a little over $1. You'd be doing pretty well on Loki, which is not bad. Pretty cool, right? I mean, you'd actually be doing better on Loki than you would on Ethereum. Go Loki. Go Team Loki. Can't wait to have you guys on the show on Monday, which, by the way, they'll be coming back on. Can't wait to have Simon and Josh back on the show with Christy and Jeremy, with other unconfirmed guests for earlier on in the show. Guys, stay tuned. I believe we're going live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday. So you got to be there. It's going to be awesome. You seriously have to be there. So, Loki, good job. You're trending high on profitability charts right there. But let's jump back over here to BitTube. For that same kilohash of Kryptonite, I'm doing $1.93. What? It's about single card performance, right? So let's just think about what that means. I mean, there's nothing to think about. The numbers are the numbers. It's right there in black and white, right? So looks like I've got a few tube incoming right now because I'm mining on this pool. So I probably should have cleared that a little bit. Whatever. And it looks like the profits is rising, guys. I'm very excited by BitTube. I honestly didn't I've fallen in love with a couple of projects that I've interviewed because the teams are really great, right? So, and you know, with some of my co-hosts on the Mystery Mining Mondays, we've kind of all gushed over Miles and the team over at Zellcash. We really are impressed by Miles, especially, and some others on the team. Don't tell him I said anything. I don't want it to go to his head. But Miles is a sharp kid, and there are several other projects, right, that I interview. Bitcoin Z is another example. Good grief. Crypto Rex, Renews It, the whole team, right? I love the community vibe that they give, and they're such a strong team. So I wind up falling in love with a lot of these projects that I interview. The Son M interview today, too. It was hard not to like Igor. It was hard not to like their project. Without taking anything away from them, I'm genuinely excited by BitTube because of the unique use case for me, right? I mean, when all you've got is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And I'm publishing content every day. So you know, for me, the technology hammer that I wield is video and streaming, you know, and this kind of, I'm trying to create value-added content and push it to platforms that I think are meaningful. And I'm seeing it here, guys. So it's exciting to see that their coin is gaining value and that it's profitable to mine. Because I feel like it's backing a project that I can personally kind of get behind. Subair didn't pay me for this. I'm not a community leader in the BitTube community. Disclosure, I haven't gotten a bounty from what was the IPBC coin. That hasn't happened. Now, I have gotten a couple of donations from people who've been viewing my content live on BitTube, but they've been very transparent about that. And the beauty of having these donations on a blockchain with a new coin is that you can track all of these. It's shown right there. So I know these have been viewers that have been kicking down, you know, like 10 tube. So what is that? Like a little under $1. Or somebody kicked down 70 tube today, that's cool too, right? What is that? It'd be like almost $6, right? In tube coin. And that happened today. But you know what? There are people over on YouTube that have given me $10 super chats and $5 super chats, and good grief, the live stream with Christy where we got a $200 super chat. That is, I mean, the generosity in the community is unbelievable, but those are community contributions to make sure that this content remains unbiased and impartial. And that I'm flattered and I'm humbled by that, guys. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. BitTube makes me excited because as you're watching, some of the coins are allocated to people who are watching the content too. So the same rewards that are being split with me are being split with you. So it is so cool. I'm really having a hard time not kind of really falling in love with this project too. So am I going to stop mining Ethereum? No, I'm not. What? Well, maybe I am tonight. I don't know. That's a little bit... I'm not too happy about that. Yeah, I'm really not too happy about that. I've got too high a hash rate. I'm still getting shares returned right there. 383 shares. I'm a little bit less concerned about that. Not too cool when you stop getting jobs, though. All right, so here's a public call to action for the HiveOS team. Please add support for the new fork of Kryptonite that supports bit.tube. The moment you do, the moment I point these rigs that are all on HiveOS over there. Alrighty, guys, I think that's what I got for you for tonight. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon. If you're on bit.tube watching this content, be sure to check out our live streams, because your comments will be featured as an overlay in future live streams. So we'll have Discord server comments, we'll have YouTube comments integrated, we have bit.tube comments integrated, guys. I love the direction the channel is taking, and I love your support. I'm truly humbled that you allowed me to take this journey into new projects, and that you've been so supportive of this effort. You're the reason I make these videos, guys. I love you, face. I will see you in the next one.